The hand that you handle the chicken with, you want to make sure that that hand doesn't touch anything else until you wash it. Alright? So we're just going to put the chicken, we're going to nicely, very gently place the chicken in the water. Hello, 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 my people out there. Welcome to my newest video where I will be showing you how to properly clean meat. Sorry for the garish image, you all. I know it's not the most prettiest image, especially for my vegetarian people and vegans out there. But I think this is an important topic. You know, some people aren't big into cleaning their meat. Others, you know, just kind of take the meat out of the, package and get right to it. I am a big proponent of cleaning meat. That's how I was taught to cook, was you always clean your meat. So it's really, really easy. There's not a really long process to it. I think sometimes when it comes to cleaning meat, people think, it's like, this big, long, arduous process, but it's really not. And the way I clean the meat, or clean my meat, right now we have chicken here because I've been really craving chicken salad. So, I didn't want like a huge thing of chicken. I was gonna get chicken breast, but like I went to the Spanish store earlier, and they had these big packages of chicken breast, and I was like, it's only me, so I don't need like 6 chicken breasts, I don't need to cook 6 chicken breasts for, just some chicken salad. So we've got some chicken tenders. These are supposed to be chicken tenders, but I'm going to turn most of them, if not all of them, into chicken salad. We have quite a bit of chicken here though, so I probably won't use all of them. We're actually going to bake the chicken. So it's a really easy recipe, doesn't take that long, but the way I clean my chicken is it does give the chicken a little bit of flavor. So I'm going to show you all. We're going to put the chicken in the sink here. As you can see, I have washed out the sink, but we will wash out the sink again just to make sure that everything is clean. And I'm going to show you all how to clean this chicken and how to clean any meat, really. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Thank you all for being here, by the way. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and follow me on my social media pages. Welcome to another episode of Lamarr Does Life. So I'm just going to transition over here really quickly and prepare the sink to clean, to get the chicken clean. Now, some people are into using bowls. Some people are into, using the sink. I think as long as your sink is clean, it's fine. As long as you don't have any dishes or anything like that. It's all about handling things properly when it comes to handling meat, cleaning meat, things of that nature. The key is sanitize, 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 clean, 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 okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Also, I also think when it comes to cleaning chicken, the less tools you have, the better, because you're going to have to sanitize all those tools, and then you don't want cross-contamination. You don't want things splashing and getting out everywhere. So that's why I really like to use my sink to clean the chicken. You want to make sure you sanitize everything, so we're also going to make sure we sanitize this stopper here too. And at the end of this all, we're going to make sure we sanitize this as well, alright? Because that's going to be important, especially if you want to reuse it, alright? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some Dawn dish soap all over the sink. It is antibacterial. Alright, you can use any soap. Any soap does work, it does the job. And I'm just going to clean. Just going to clean the sink out. We're going to make sure we clean this as well. Really good, like I said. Get any food and debris from up underneath crevices. And be mindful that, most of the debris and stuff like that is going to wash away anyway. And we just finished cleaning the sink. Really good. Make sure you wring that out. And like I was saying, be careful with the splashing. The splashing, especially when we're handling raw meat, splashing the water can, cause some contamination. Because when water splashes, I mean, it splashes kind of everywhere. So you don't want the contaminated splashes to, contaminate other things in the kitchen, right? So we've got to be really careful. But don't, overstress, don't overthink about it, Get all the soap out. Speaking of soap, we will not be cleaning the chicken with soap. I know some people clean their chicken with some crazy things. I am a firm believer in cleaning your chicken with things that are edible. Alright, because this is something you're putting in your mouth. So now that we've got the sink clean, we're going to put the stopper in there. And I got the water on hot. So we're just going to let the water fill up. We're not going to let the water fill up to the top brim here, because once again that makes it easy for things to splash, especially when we put the chicken actually in the water. So while that does that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ingredients in terms of the actual cleaning the chicken, which are just really 2 ingredients. You can add more if you like, but it's really, simple. I like to use white vinegar to clean my chicken. Alright. White vinegar. And if you don't know, white vinegar is a natural cleansing agent. It is antibacterial. Now it won't get rid of all, dirt, grime, and things of that nature. So it's but a lot of people do use vinegar to clean their homes and stuff like that. So it really is antibacterial. Of course, maybe not as antibacterial as bleach, but we're not putting bleach in our chicken because that's just not safe food preparation. The next thing we'll be using is a little bit of rosemary essential oil. Now, many people don't know, but essential oils are actually a good cleansing agent as well. Alright, essential oils are often used in cleansing of surfaces and stuff like that too. Not to mention it smells good. This is edible as well, so this is able to be ingested. We won't be ingesting it. We're just going to use this to actually clean the chicken. Alright, so what I like to do is, while the water is watering, we're going to take the white vinegar once again, and we're just going to pour a little bit of white vinegar in there. Alright, oh god. It's clean, so we're okay. Alright. There we go. Get a good bit of white vinegar in there. And then take the rosemary essential oil and we just put a few drops. You don't want to inundate it with, too much essential oil, because you don't want the chicken to be filled to the brim with essential oil. Essential oil can be toxic. And you want just enough water that it kind of, it coats the chicken basically. Alright, so we're going to let the water fill up and then put the chicken in the water, because once again, we don't want splashing. Splashing is not good, alright? If things do splash, you want to make sure you clean the surfaces, alright? And you want to make sure you clean the surfaces anyway. A big part of cooking is cleaning, alright? I'm a big proponent of cleaning as you go as well. Oh, I just realized that I didn't put the thing. Okay. So I was like, why is it not rising? Alright, so it should rise. I'm just going to let it, fill a little bit more. Like I said, we don't want the whole thing full. some people will cut lemons. Lemons are also a good cleaning agent, natural cleaning agent. And like I said, when it comes to cleaning my meat, especially chicken, because chicken that is not maybe properly handled can make you sick. And getting sick from chicken or any meat that's not properly handled is never a good time, right? So we want to take our chicken, all right, and then we just want to take each piece one by one and kind of set it in the water, all right? Once again, we don't want splashing. And actually, we're going to move this to the side. The hand that you handle the chicken with, you want to make sure that that hand doesn't touch anything else until you wash it, all right? So we're just going to put the chicken, we're going to nicely, very gently place the chicken in the water, like so, because we don't want splashing. And remember, we cleaned the sink, so the sink is cleaned. All right. Okay, perfect. And we're just gonna let that sit probably for about, I'm gonna get a napkin to hold this hand over with. We're gonna let that sit for maybe about 30 minutes. Because I really like to let it soak. Sometimes, I like to let it sit for at least an hour. Especially if I'm like doing a reading. I'll let the chicken soak, I'll let it clean, and then I'll just go do my reading. And then once the reading is over, typically, it's like, okay, the chicken's ready. So we're going to let it do its thing. We'll come back, and then we will prepare the chicken to be baked. Alright, but this is basically all you have to do to clean the chicken. Alright, so we'll be right back in about 30 minutes to an hour once the chicken is done cleaning. Alright, it's been soaking for a while now. As you can see, halfway through I decided to put some lemons in it. You can see the seeds and the lemon rinds there. I'll get a little bit more of a close-up so you guys can see what's going on there. There you go. So it's pretty much done cleaning. I've washed my hands, I've sanitized my hands. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the seasoning ready. Alright, now when it comes to how I like to make my seasoning, I really like to use a mortar and pestle, I think is what it's called. Mortar and pestle, whatever you call it. Basically what this is, I got this from Bed Bath & Beyond. As you know, if you watch my Bed Bath & Beyond kitchen, not tutorial or kitchen, extravaganza, whatever you want to call it, I talked about how most of my stuff is from Bed Bath & Beyond. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to preheat the oven now to about 400, 425. Alright, so we're going to preheat the oven and we're going to get our seasonings ready. Alright, so when it comes to seasoning baked chicken, it's really easy. Of course you can use whatever seasoning you would like, but there are some staples. Of course, salt. I am using natural sea salt, to be specific. Alright, I'm not a big fan of iodine salt or table salt. I really like sea salt because sea salt is what I use in my spiritual baths, as well as my cooking. So sea salt is also better for you than, I think, iodine salt. Alright, so we're going to put enough salt in there to coat all the chicken pieces. Now, alright, there we go. That's about enough. Now when it comes to the seasoning, oftentimes when it comes to cooking meat, especially chicken, you'll find that you don't even use all of the seasoning. Alright, so a lot of the seasoning you may have to end up throwing away, or throwing out, but it's okay. I do like a little bit of crunch when it comes to my baked chicken, even though it is baked, so I'm going to use baking powder. Baking powder helps to give it a little bit of crunch. I'm not going to use too much. Alright, just enough to mix it in there and coat each chicken piece. Like I said, you can put a little bit more. There we go. So there we go, we've got our baking powder in there. And then I got a little bit of garlic salt. Now because we already put sea salt in it, we don't want to put too much garlic salt in it. But I like a little bit of garlicky flavor. So that's enough. All right, we don't want it to be too salty by any means. So we got a little bit of garlic salt going on there. And then I have poultry seasoning. Now, poultry seasoning is a mix of organic sage, organic thyme, organic onion, organic black pepper, organic marjoram, organic celery seed, and organic cayenne pepper. Alright? So we're going to put some poultry seasoning. And I like to be a little bit heavy-handed with the poultry seasoning, to be honest with you. Put a little bit more in there. So we've got our poultry seasoning in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit more black pepper because I really like pepper. Alright? A little bit of heat. Alright, that was actually a lot of black pepper, but it's okay because I love black pepper. So then what we want to do is we just want to mix all of the ingredients, all of the herbs together, so that when we're ready to coat the chicken and start baking the chicken, we can just pull from this herb mix and sprinkle it on the chicken before we put it in the oven. And, I recommend doing this because, like I said, when it comes to handling raw meat, you guys, you really want to be, careful. You don't want any contamination. So part of the reason why I like doing this specifically for my meat is because I'm not taking the chicken, picking up the chicken, because you also want to coat each side with seasoning. I'm not taking the chicken and then, looking for the salt and the celery, or the celery salt, or the garlic salt, or the black pepper, and, sprinkling it all at once. But then all of the actual these become contaminated with chicken juice, raw chicken juice, and that's not good because then you have to clean them. If you don't clean them, you may get sick, so you really got to be careful with that. When it comes to handling raw chicken, raw meat, less is more, especially when it comes to utensils. Okay, now when it comes to seasoning, less is more could also be applied, but when it comes to chicken, you'll see how I do it. When it comes to seasoning, you have some base seasonings. Salt is always going to be good, but, I would say, sometimes less is more with the salt. When it comes to seasoning chicken, you can be a little bit more heavy-handed, but with the salt, you don't want the chicken to be too salty, right? So when it comes to seasoning things, it's really about finding a balance. And I find that when you mix everything together, it also makes it a bit more palatable rather than piling on the seasoning as you go. That's just how I like to work. So definitely if you don't have a mortar and pestle, I recommend getting one. So pretty much the seasoning is mixed together. Alright. So we're going to put this to the side here. And then I'm going to get my cast iron pan for the chicken. Alright, because we're going to put the chicken on the cast iron pan. So give me a second. Meanwhile, the chicken is still pretty much soaking in the natural cleaning solution. Alright, so got our cast iron pan here. And now what I like to do as well is I like to coat the cast iron pan with just a little bit of oil. So it makes, even though it is cast iron usually is non-stick. I still like to coat the pan with some oil. So it is good to use a high point oil. So the oil I'm using is safflower oil. I think safflower oil, a high smoke point oil, meaning that it won't smoke as easily as, say, like an olive oil, which means also it's less likely to burn on the pan. Alright, so I'm teaching you guys things. Alright. Alright, so we're just going to coat the pan with some oil. To make it non-stick, or as non-stick as it can be. Alright, there we go. And now, time to place the chicken on the pan. Alright, So I'm going to, now when it comes to the chicken, you guys, once again, remember, no splashing. So what I like to do is I like to just take the chicken out. I don't like to drain the water. It's good if you can pat the chicken dry. Use the same paper towel and then place it on the pan. Alright? Take the chicken out. Use the same paper towel if you can, just to dry it off a little bit, and then place it on the pan. So we're going to do this for each piece, and then once all of the chicken is out of the sink, we will drain the water. Also, I should probably take out the lemon rinds as well, to be honest with you. But be careful. Alright, let's just go ahead and take these out now. Dang. So I'm going to have to put these in this. This is wet anyway, and get another paper towel with my free hand. Luckily, the paper towels aren't too far away. And usually I like to have a bag that I put everything in, but I don't seem to have a bag. So, oh my god, I don't want to contaminate anything. We're just going to have to keep this hand free. Dang it. Let's see. Do I have a bag? Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper towel and go in my closet. Actually, no, I'm going to take a more dry paper towel. I'm going to take this dry paper towel, go in my closet, get a bag so that I can put this, this in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this back in the water for now. And once again, I recommend this. So I've got a bag here. You just kind of want to put this in the bag. And now we can put the bag probably on the floor or somewhere where it can be thrown away later. We're going to get a new paper towel so that we can pat off this chicken once again. We're going to put these paper towels in the bag that we just got. And we're going to get the remainder of the chicken out of the sink. Alright, pat, pat, pat. Go on the pan. Pat, pat, pat. Go on the pan. And then we have one more piece. Alright. And now that we've got our final piece, as we're patting, we can let the water drain. And then wash our hands, so that we can continue working. Alright, we want to grab the bag once again. Alright, the bag is what's going to hold all of the, you know, nasty bits. Also, it might be a good idea to double bag as well, you know, just so nothing leaks out. Alright, so we'll put that on the floor. We're going to use another paper towel. We're going to turn the water. And we're going to finally wash our hands so that we can continue working. And you want to wash your hands thoroughly. In a minute, we'll get back to cleaning the sink. And then I'll show you what I like to do with the I'll show you what I like to do with this to sanitize it, alright? But let's get back to the chicken. Alright, so my hands are washed. Now we're going to season the chicken. Alright? Usually I like to put a little bit of oil on the chicken, but I'm just kind of lazy right now and I don't feel like oiling the chicken. The oil from the pan, which we just oiled, will do the job. So okay, what I like to do is, we've got our seasoning, right? So we have to make sure our hands are dry because we don't want the seasoning getting wet. I like to dip my hand in the seasoning, like so, and just sprinkle it all over the chicken. Doesn't matter if it gets on the pan, it's all going to cook anyway, alright? You want to make sure you get each side, you know, coated evenly, alright? So then we flip each piece over now. Make sure you kind of space them out as best as you can. We're going to use the different hand now. Alright. And coat the other side. This is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Alright. Now you'll see we have a little bit more seasoning left. You can either throw this away, you can save it if you want. I'm going to throw it away because I've had my hands all in it and I don't want to reuse it for those purposes, okay? So, we're going to put this to the side as well. And I'm going to wash my hands one more time. And then we'll put the chicken in the oven. Remember, one hand did not touch the chicken, so you want to use that hand that didn't touch the chicken to turn on the faucet. I'm also a big fan of leaving the faucet on so you don't ever have to really touch the handle. But for the purposes of this video, and sound-wise, it's probably not a good idea. Alright. Alright. So now we've got the chicken seasoned. We're going to put it in the oven. Alright. Like how I add tea to everything. The oven's alright. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we've got the oven on. It's preheated, like I said, to about 420. We're going to bake the chicken for about 20 minutes, leaving it alone, not opening the oven, and then we'll check it. Usually I like to let the chicken bake for about 40 minutes. I'm also a big fan of using a meat thermometer to check the actual, like, the inside of the chicken to see if it's cooked. If you don't have a meat thermometer or food thermometer, I definitely recommend you to get this as well, because this will really help you to make sure all your meat is always cooked, or all your food is always cooked properly. Alright? Also, what I love about this thermometer, I think I got this from Target or maybe Bed Bath & Beyond, is it shows you, why won't it focus? That's weird. Alright, well, it won't focus, but what I love about this meat thermometer is it shows you which type of meat needs to be, like, you know, the temperature it needs to be for the type of meat you're cooking. Alright, so we're going to put the chicken in the oven. We're going to put it on the top oven. I'm going to let it bake for a little while. I'm going to clean the sink out, and then I will show you guys how I sanitize my little friend here, the scrubber. Be back in a minute. Alright, so we're pretty much done cleaning the sink. So I'm going to show you all what we do to disinfect this, because we've been using this to clean the raw chicken leftover debris, and you know, it's important to disinfect this, especially when you handle raw meat. And cleaning up the debris of raw meat, you'll want to disinfect your cleaning tools after you've used them. Also, I want to say that you should be doing this periodically. especially if you have a tendency, which I know most households do. Alright, if you have a tendency to reuse these kind of like over and over and over, disinfect them, alright? So what we're going to be using to disinfect them is good old bleach. The only time we'll be using bleach during the process of cleaning meat is to disinfect the scrubber afterwards, okay? Oh crap, we won't be using it to actually clean the chicken. I know some people use bleach to clean chicken. Child, please don't use bleach to clean your chicken, honey, and eat it. Alright. So what we want to do is we want to take the bleach, and I like to kind of, while the sink is filling up, I like to pour bleach on the thing on one side. I like to flip it over, do it on the other side as well. And then I like to pour a little bit in the water. You don't have to put much water in it, alright? Just enough to kind of fill it up once again. Any old good bleach will work. Alright, that's good. So much like the chicken, we're just going to let that soak. Maybe every now and then, every 30 minutes or so, or every 10 minutes or so, we'll flip it over so that it gets a good soaking. Alright, because you really want to make sure you disinfect that and get that clean. Alright, so I think our chicken is done. So we're going to take that out of the oven now. Alright, we're going to wipe off this excess water from cleaning the dishes. And let's get our chicken out of the oven, you guys. I'm so hungry. I'm so excited. The chicken has been baking for, I would say, almost an hour. Alright. Ooh, doesn't that look so good? There you go. The chicken is cooked. Ready to serve. Probably ready to cool down as well. And so we will, when I finish the chicken, I really kind of like to, make sure it's not sticking, which it shouldn't be sticking that bad because we put oil on it, alright? So we'll let this cool down for a little bit, and then I'll either turn it into some, see how it's like brown on this, on this side? Love that. So we'll let this cool down, and then I'll either serve it or I will turn it into chicken salad like I said earlier. But that is the basis of cleaning, cooking, and seasoning your chicken, you all. Really, really easy. Not too hard at all. Looks like my camera's about to die, so we're going to have to cut this video at this juncture. But we're done, alright? We're going to let the scrubber disinfect. We're going to let the chicken cool. And you'll know when the chicken is kind of done when, like I said, on the underside it's brown. Alright? So I cannot wait to dig into this, you all. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. But like I said, this is the basis of cleaning chicken properly and also properly seasoning it and cooking it. Very, very easy, not hard. Don't be scared of handling raw meat, you guys. You just have to handle it in the proper way. I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Love and light. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out my main channel where I do psychic readings, spirituality, tarot readings, and stuff like that. Lamarr Townsend Tarot. If you want a reading from me, I'm available on my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. Keep in touch with me on my social media. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, of course. I'm also on Patreon, as well as Vimeo, and I have my own website where it's mainly about spirituality and things of that nature, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love and light.